Hello everyone, welcome to Alibaba Cloud Image Search webinar. My name is Yue Feng. I'm a solution architect at Alibaba Cloud, and I work specially on retail solutions. So for this session, we'll start from understanding our customers' behaviors and also their pain points. Then I'll try to explain how Alibaba Cloud Image Search can help and also its architecture. Then I'll try to explain to you how we can implement this solution within 3 days. And then I'll give you some best practice and recommendations. We'll keep 5 to 10 minutes for Q&A part. At first, I would like to invite you to compare the customer behaviors between offline and online. As we all know that before the customer's shopping decision, for most of their time, they will try to have searching and discovering experience. Fortunately, for our offline retailers, they can build a quite rich experience for their customers because the customer can use vision, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. But for online, unfortunately, we can offering them only visual experience, and that make offline and online quite different. It seems that our customer for offline, they are more tolerant and they can spend more time to try to understand the product and the service we're offering. But for online customers, the visual experience is quite quick and they cannot wait. If we cannot offering them relevant information for search and discover experience, what they are going to do is try to open a new web page and go to a new store and close the web page of your web store. So what we can learn from this part is that we should pay attention about visual search experience and a visual discover experience to our customer. About discovery experience, what we propose is recommendation engine. This solution is based on customer data, product data, and behavior data, means customer history, behavior data, and propose more relevant information to our customer. And we can talk about this subject in another webinar. Now, let's talk about search experience. When we talk about search, we think at first text search, which is based on keywords. And now more and more people talk about voice search, which is a very interesting search experience. And both of them are based on keywords. Alibaba Group has built up a visual search experience for their customers since years. 600 million daily users have this experience on Alibaba websites, and our customer feedback are very satisfied. So now we are ready to share image search solution with you. There are different search scenarios, and we are trying to classify them into two different categories. One is search for discovery. The second is precise search. For the first category, your customers have already some keywords to describe the product or the name of the category, but they don't know exactly what they're looking for. So they will spend some time to use the filter to limit the number of products. But we have identified some websites which offering a very painful experience to their customers because 100 different customers searching for the same keywords, they're offering exactly the same order of product. So the customer will waste a lot of time. Alibaba has a solution to personalize the search result. So we can talk about it in another webinar. And the precise search means your customer knows already what he's searching for. Sometimes they have already the photo of the product. Let me show you how it works on Alibaba AliExpress website. So the customer can use a mobile application to take a picture of the product. And then the mobile application will send the search engine the picture, and in seconds, will show the customer similar product. And this information is more relevant, and you can improve your customers' experience by saving their time. Image search is quite useful to avoid some pain points for your customer. First of all, there are always some products which are difficult to find the right keywords to describe. Even your customer finds something, we're not sure that they have found the same keywords as your webmaster. The second scenario is about the similar products. With just the words, sometimes it's very difficult to distinguish the similar products. And for your foreign customers, a picture is worth 1,000 words. Here, I would like to invite you to do a small exercise. We have 3 pictures. My question is, what is the building in these pictures? If your answer is the Eiffel Tower, La Tour Eiffel, you get the point. But can you ask yourself, can you describe the process, how you find it is the Eiffel Tower? It seems that when your brain saw these pictures, your brain tried to find something similar. And then you find something, and then you get the ID of the object, which is the Eiffel Tower. That means your brain reacts just like an image search engine. In fact, our human memory system has 3 layers: sensory register, short-term memory, and long-term memory. And inside of the long-term memory, we have a lot of object visual buttons. And these buttons help us to recognize the objects. Every time when you saw a picture, a photo, an object, a chair, a bottle, a cup, a table, you can recognize them. And it's like a real-time image search engine. And now you know that image search process is a part of human nature. And it is important for us to understand human natures to better serve our customers. If it's about human natures, it's also a question about user interface design. If we can propose our customer more efficient and intelligent user interfaces, why we keep using old-fashioned? If all above is not enough to make you fall in love with Alibaba Cloud Image Search, I will show you some numbers. So first of all, let's check Google Ads text search for retail sector. The click-through rate is 4.25%, which means for 10,000 people who have already result pages in front of them, only 425 of them click on one of the links because they want to know more about the product, which makes the cost per click around $2. And the conversion rate is 3%, which means for the rest of 425 people, only 12 of them will buy something, which makes the cost per acquisition around $55. If the retailer has a margin less than $55, they're losing money. On the other side, Alibaba Cloud Image Search can reach 75% click-through rate, which means 3 1/4 of the population who use this search. I think this makes sense because, as you have already seen in the previous demonstration, people can find really relevant product in the result list, and which make them interested and click. Then the cost per click cost is very low, and the conversion rate is 5 times higher. The cost per acquisition is less than $1. I think here some of you will ask me why you're trying to compare something not comparable. I think you may be right, because image search cannot replace text search. So what we are talking about here are two different scenarios. One is search for discovery, another one is precise search. So what I'm trying to show you is the capacity of image search. For more details about the pricing model, as you can see on the left, the pricing model is defined by two parameters. One is the number of images in storage. Second one is QPS, which means query per second. You can consider it as bandwidth. So we can start from only $800 per month to offer your customer a very interesting experience. And for who are interested by Alibaba Cloud Image Search, there is free trial version. You have 1 month to try until 10,000 pictures and 1 QPS. Let me introduce image search workflow. At first, your customer will take a picture of a product via mobile application or web pages and send it back to your web server. Your web server will call automatically image search API with the picture inside. On the Alibaba Cloud side, our engine will try to find similar product in the image index, which you can consider like an image decision tree. Then the image search engine will send back a list of product ID, which product look like the product in your picture. So please pay attention here. Image search engine won't send back real images, but a list of product ID, which means on your web server side, you have to keep the original images, then to build the response pages with the image inside. Thanks to image search API and SDK, we can operate 6 different actions. They are search, OSS, massive import, add, update, delete images, and clear data. For security purpose, it is better for you to manage 2 different user groups on your web server side. One is for end users. They can do only search operation. For all the modifications of the engine, you allow only administrators to do. The search operation allows you to send one photo and get a list of product ID back. The OSS massive import means you can get an object storage service from Alibaba Cloud side. You can activate this storage service and open a storage area on Alibaba Cloud side, then upload millions of photos into this area. Then you can prepare a metadata file, which is a JSON format file. It contains a list of products and its associated photos. After that, you can operate this action. Then millions of photos will insert into your image search engine. It may take some time if you have a lot of photos. You can add multiple photos to one product, but you can do that only one by one. So that means one photo by one product ID by instruction. You can delete one photo at a time for product, or you can delete one product directly by its product ID. After that, all the associated photos will be deleted. Clear data means you will reinitialize the image search engine. After that, everything will be deleted. For who are interested by the technologies behind image search, this slide is for you. So image search is a part of machine learning, and artificial neural networks is one of the methods inside of machine learning. And then we can talk about deep learning, and one of the application fields is computer vision. And image search is a part of object recognition. And then inside of object recognition, there are still different methods. And what we're using is feature-based methods. Let's come back to the daily life of administrator of image search. The first thing to understand is that you don't need to train the model. Image search product is a SaaS solution, which means the model has already trained by Alibaba and delivered inside of the product. You can consider the model as a tree, and you can add more leaves, which means the product or product images into the model, but you cannot change the model structure. For example, if you want to add a new red shoe into the model, you have to declare the shoe ID, the product ID, and also the category number. Here, for shoes, you should choose number 4. And then the model will recognize this information and save the information into the shoes model. And inside of image search engine, there are multiple models. There's a model for shoes. But if you made a mistake, which means instead of insert the information into the shoe model, you save that into the bag model. And your user who want to search something in the shoe model, they won't find the red shoes. When your customer sends back a picture of a shoe, the image search engine at first will try to recognize the category of the product inside of the photo. If it recognizes it as a shoe, engine will try to find something into the shoes model and then reply a list of product ID. Image search proof of concept is very simple in general. You may not need professional services from Alibaba Cloud side. If you have followed all the steps we have explained in the webinar, and you will need a POC environment, and a free trial environment can do the job. And you may need image search online documentation, and you can download image search SDK or use directly the API. For your side, you may need one web developer for 2 to 5 days to develop the web server side, and a web designer if you want to do a nice job for mobile application. And you may need different product photos, maybe 2 or 3 photos per product, around 50 to 200 products in different categories, and also the product descriptions. After your authentication into the Alibaba Cloud, let's go to the console interface. Then on top left, you'll find the search bar for products. You can enter in image search. So my recommendation is to check this star. Then you can get image search just on your left. So for your next utilization, it will be very comfortable. This is the overview interface of your image search service. And here you can get information about 2 types of products, product search instance and generic search instance. So what we're talking about is only for product search instance. Here you can see that I have already two instances. One is available, another one is payment overdue. Okay, when you click on this one, number 2, you'll find that I have already two instances. Now let's create a new instance as a free trial instance. Click on Create Instance. In this interface, you will find that we have a list of different regions available for this image search services. So as I have already enabled one free trial instance for Germany region, so I cannot do that twice. But for you, I really recommend that you use the Germany instance. So let's try on Singapore region. So we're talking about product search. And if you keep the QPS, query per second, at 1 and limit it to 100,000 items, you can use your free trial version. But for your pre-production and production environment, you can check on two different QPS. And then you will have more options on capacities. So if you choose 5 QPS and 2.5 million items, you get $800 per month. Okay. So let's go back to the free trial version. You can give it a name. If the name is already used, image search test, then you can give it another name. Good. So you have 1 month free usage. Okay, let's check. Let's click on Buy Now button. Click on Pay button. So you can click on the button Pay to continue. It will take some time. So let's click on the button Console and go back to your console interface. As we have already checked the shortcut, so we can click on image search directly here. Click on product search instance. Click on refresh. So why I can't find my image search instance? So here, please pay attention about your region. When you click on Singapore region, then you will find your instance. Okay, then you can click on detail about the instance. Now you will find enough information about this instance. Now you have your image search instance available. Next step, we will import some photos into this instance. So there's a button to do that. You can click on Import. Okay. Now let's configure the first OSS import for your free trial image search engine. There are 9 steps to follow to configure the OSS import. First, you have to sign up for Object Storage Service, then create a bucket, configure the path inside of the bucket, and upload some pictures into this path. Then you have to define the increment.meta file. This is a JSON format file. Inside of the file, you have to define the list of products and the list of the photo associated. Then you have to configure the security part. You have to define the role for the image search service. Then get the security number of the rule to set up the OSS import. The policy is the definition of an action to a resource. Then you have to assign the policy to the rule. Finally, you can configure the OSS import interface. There are some useful links which can help you to better understand how OSS import works. OSS browser is a tool that you can download on your laptop or your web server This tool will help you to update the product photos from your web server to your OSS storage area. Here's a schema which can help you to better understand how OSS import works. The 9 steps are shown here. The metadata file contains 5 different informations. First one is about the action. You can add or delete the photo. You can define the product ID, then the category ID of the product. Here are the category ID and its description. For bags, you have to use number 3. For shoes, you have to use number 4. Then you can give your customized content. Then the picture list. Please take attention here. The picture list is not really a list containing multiple elements. It's a list with only one photo name. Let's take an example. Here is a metadata file. The first information is action. The item ID is the product ID. The category ID is here. You can add customer content and then only one photo inside of the picture list. To delete the photo, you have to mention the product ID and also the picture ID. Otherwise, you can just mention the product ID. All the pictures associated will be deleted. The next level of OSS import usage is the automation. It will be quite useful if you manage multiple department photos. For example, for women fashion department, you can build a separate folder inside of the bucket. But you have to keep the same file name as increment.meta. You cannot change the file name, otherwise OSS import and the image search engine won't recognize the metadata file. Then you can update the photos for your development environment. You don't have to update twice. You can keep the same photos to update the production environment. The next level of automation will be script directly executed from your web server. For most of the websites, we use CMS, Content Management System. So you can try to automate content management system to update the list of pictures. Then you can automate the update of the OSS and then update image search engine. Now you have already the image search engine activated, but it's still empty. Next step, we'll set up the customer web server to do the demonstration. There's a GitHub webpage dedicated for image search workshop. So here you can download the demonstration for a Linux version. Let's go to the Alibaba Cloud product. Let's create an Elastic Compute Service instance. So let's create a new instance. You can choose pay as you go, and the region should be Germany. You can choose very simple instance, and the version of Linux should be CentOS. Okay, you keep all the other options by default. Select VPC. Let's do the creation of the VPC. Create a new VPC. We should choose the zone. So let's come back to the instance. So in the basic choice, you can choose zone B. And then you can configure the VPC in the same zone. Okay, good. Then we can go back to the instance creation. For networking, we should activate VPC image search. That's the VPC we have just created. It's very important to activate the public IP because we will use this one to do the demonstration. So the public IP is important. And the bandwidth, you can put whatever you want because it's a demonstration version. We can activate the port 80 and 440 next step. Then you can put the password. Okay. Next. It should check the terminal of service. Create instance. Okay. Now we have the public IP. Let's try to connect that. Connect. Yes. Okay, now we can connect to the instance. So let's do all the necessary. So let's install Java. So let's check. Good. So let's install Maven. Let's check the version of Maven. Good. Let's set up the environment variable. Let's change the access. Let's install Git. Let's check the version. Good. Let's create a project repository. Then clone the project. Then let's go to the project folder, clean the installation. Good. Then let's run the project. Okay, the project is running. Let's open the website. Try the website. It seems that it doesn't work because you have to set up the security part. The web server is not reachable, but it is still running. The reason why we cannot reach this server because this port is closed. So let's set up the security group, means the firewall. So there are two options. First one is to set up a security group for the instance, or set up the security group of the VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. So let's do the second option. We can give it another name, VPC. We can add rules. So the port 8080 should be opened. So let's add security group rules. Ingress the root. The port range is 8080. Okay, we open to everybody. Great. Then we can come back to the instance security group setup. It's by default. Okay, you can see that it is already modified. Good, let's try again. It works. Now we have the configuration page. We have to enter some parameters. to activate this demonstration. First of all, we can give the web server a password for the administration. Then we need access key ID and access key secret. So this time we should still set up a new user. To create a new user, let's come back to the Alibaba Cloud console. Let's go to the RAM, Resource Access Management. We can create a new user. Image search admin. Okay, we finished the configuration. Okay. Then we can add permissions to this new user. Here we need at least one right, image search full access, which means this user can not only do the search action, but also do modifications to your image search instance. If you give the only access, that means you can get only the option search. If you could give this user full access, the person will get not only end user right, but also administrator rights. Okay, let's confirm. Okay, come back. Now we have image search administrator. We need also the access key. So we can create a new access key. Here we got it. Copy and paste. There's an online article about this region ID. You can find it in the chapter request structure in image search online documentation for developer guide, API reference, making API requests, and request structure. So as we are using the Germany instance, we can copy this region ID. And product search instance name. If we come back to the interface of image search, product search instance, and we can get the overview page, and we can copy the instance name. Then product search instance domain. This is the endpoint, in fact. Copy paste. We can give it the same name, instance namespace. Okay, let's check if it works. Great. Then we can save it. Now let's go back to the management object. Okay, so we have three different pages. The page configuration, you can switch from one image search instance to another one, or change the access key if you need. For the manage object page, you can do drag and drop to put some new product image into the instance. For the home page, you can select one product image and try to find if you have something similar inside of the image search engine. So let's do the exercise. So have prepare some pages, prepare some images, drag and drop. Okay, good. Let's add all, confirm. Wow. Okay, cool. Let's come back to the home page. I'll drop one product. And now you can see that the image search engine are proposing the similar product. There is another solution to test image search engine that after updating all the photos, you can check in the test service. You can add one photo and start test. On the right, you will get some information. So the result will in the auctions. So image search engine has already recognized the photo you have uploaded is category 4, which means shoes. The request ID is this one. And what we found as a response are the following products. They are all shoes. So you can get the item ID, picture name, etc. And this sort X values, you can get some help from our website. The reason why you can find some blank photo, because previously I have already uploaded some photos into the image search engine, but I haven't saved the original photos. So that's the reason you will find some blank photos. You can find the score on each photo. The score indicates the relevance. We have some best practices and recommendations for all the image search users. First of all, the size of the picture. The size of each image uploaded shouldn't be more than 2 megabytes, and the resolution should respect both height and width must fall into the range from 200 to 1024 pixels. And then we have two different solutions to upload the product pictures. One is by API. That means you can upload or modify pictures one by one, or by OSS import, which is Object Storage Service import. We recommend professional users to use OSS import to upload or initialize a massive quantity of images. Here's some useful documentation about it. The OSS import is very useful for the user who upload more than 10,000 images. You can keep all the images in one environment and reuse them. You don't have to re-upload them to different environments. And you can manage them for different entities of your company, because all of them can manage their own folders on OSS import. And OSS import is more faster than API import.